Hello, boys and girls. Chaplain Scott Savell here with another Fight for Joy podcast. This one, a prophecy update. Last evening, as I was lying in bed, I found myself lying there with my Bible open, my laptop nearby, a few news articles pulled up, and my mind pondering how current events may be pointing towards something ominous on the horizon. So today I want to talk to you about Iran, what the Bible calls ancient Persia, peace initiatives, and what many prophecy watchers refer to as prophetic convergence. So let's get this show on the road. Okay, cue the intro. Before we open up Ezekiel, let me just tell you a few of the headlines I've been reading lately. I'll just give you the titles. Hezbollah warns a U.S. strike on Iran would ignite the entire region. Iran-U.S. conflict. Could war break out soon? Tehran's military buildup. Warning signals high alert. Trump's ambitions in the Middle East. Peace broker or deal maker. When you read those side by side, something becomes clear. Escalation and peace are advancing at the same time. And that combination should immediately catch the attention of anyone familiar with Bible prophecy. When we talk about biblical prophecy, especially end-time prophecy, it's important to avoid two extremes, ignoring it altogether or sensationalizing every headline. Scripture calls us to watch, but to watch wisely. One of the clearest prophetic passages involving modern geopolitics is found in Ezekiel 38 and 39, where Persia is explicitly named as part of a future coalition that comes against Israel. Persia is modern-day Iran. That identification is not symbolic or debated. It's straightforward. The Bible tells us Iran will play a role in a future conflict that ends not through diplomacy or military power, but through direct divine intervention. For many years, prophecy teachers wondered how such a scenario could realistically develop. Today, that question feels far less theoretical. Iran's hostility towards Israel is open and unapologetic. Its regional influence through proxy groups continues to grow. Its rhetoric increasingly assumes the possibility of a wider regional conflict. Persia is no longer a distant footnote in prophecy. It is an active, visible player on the world stage. But here's where things get especially interesting. At the very same time tensions are rising, we're also seeing renewed talk of peace, security frameworks, and regional stabilization efforts aimed at calming the Middle East rather than inflaming it. Discussions like the so-called Board of Peace and familiar initiatives are framed around reducing conflict and creating long-term security. Biblically speaking, that combination, escalation on one hand and diplomacy on the other, is not contradictory. It's expected. In Ezekiel 38, Israel is described as dwelling in a condition it has never truly experienced in modern history. Unwalled villages, living securely without bars or gates. For that prophecy to be fulfilled, Israel must first experience a convincing sense of peace and security, not perfection, but confidence. Peace initiatives, international guarantees, and diplomatic frameworks could all contribute to that mindset. And Scripture elsewhere cautions that such moments may be deceptive. Paul writes that while people are saying peace and safety, sudden destruction will follow. The Bible does not necessarily condemn all peace efforts, but it does warn us not to confuse humanly brokered peace with lasting peace. So this brings us to the idea of prophetic convergence. For decades, prophecy trends appeared spaced out, one development here, another years later. What feels different now is not just what's happening, but how much is happening at the same time. Persia aligned against Israel, regional alliances hardening, proxy conflicts surrounding Israel, global attention fixed on Middle East stability, serious peace and security discussions advancing in parallel. These are not isolated data points. They are overlapping realities, unfolding in the same historical window. That doesn't mean Ezekiel 38 is happening tomorrow, but it does mean the stage is increasingly recognizable. The gap between possibility and plausibility has certainly narrowed. Jesus never told his followers to set dates, nor did he tell them to panic, but he did tell us to watch. Watching biblically means interpreting current events through the Bible, not interpreting the Bible through the news. Prophecy isn't meant to scare us. It's meant to steady us. History is moving somewhere, and God is not improvising. So as always, we stay awake, aware, and anchored. Not fearful, not speculative, but discerning. If you'd like to go deeper on this topic, I actually wrote about it in my latest blog post over at www.fightforjoy.net. You can head on over there, click on the blog link, and check it out. And if you found this prophecy update helpful, please take a moment to share and subscribe to the channel. That really does help get this content in front of more people. I'd also love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to leave a comment below. Are you seeing the same convergence? What stands out to you? Well, until next time, keep looking up and keep fighting for joy. God bless.